Namo Buddhaya Vandami Bhante. My name is Sunil Patil and I am the host for today's Dhamma session. I welcome all participants to our weekly Dhamma learning session. Topic for today's Dhamma session is power of Mettā or power of loving kindness. And our teacher for today's Dhamma session is Venerable Dr. Bhante Sumitta from USA. Let me introduce our today's speaker, Venerable Dr. Bhante Sumitta. Bhante Sumitta, a PhD in Buddhist studies and founder of Dhamma USA, is deeply committed to community care, spiritual well-being, and social welfare. Leading various programs, he engages in Dhamma talks, sutta discussions, meditations, and Pali language classes in California and beyond. As a faculty member at the Right Mindfulness Training Academy in California, he imparts transformative teachings on mindfulness and meditation, mentoring students in Buddhist principles. Bhante has also taught at the University of the East and the University of the West, covering courses on ethics and Buddhist ministry and more. As a prison care volunteer in Southern California, Bhante provided compassionate support to incarcerated individuals. In 2019, he served as a teacher at Home Boys Industries in Los Angeles, empowering at-risk youth. Bhante collaborates with the local Buddhist temples, sharing Dhamma talks and meditation classes, contributing to community well-being. With academic credentials from the University of Delhi and the University of Kelaniya, Bhante Sumitta holds expertise in Buddhist studies, Pali studies, and Buddhist art and culture. Dedicated to service, he has a rich history in Sri Lanka, serving as a temporary lecturer and senior lecturer in English. In the US, Bhante Sumitta has started transformative teachings at the various Buddhist centers in California, New Jersey, New York, Chicago, and Las Vegas. His impact extends globally with teachings in countries like India, Nepal, Singapore, Malaysia, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and the US, and also in Italy, fostering cross-cultural understanding and spiritual growth. Renowned for his commitment to peace, Bhante Sumitta has organized impactful peace walks, including the New York to Washington, D.C. Peace Walk, the Peace Walk in Florida, and the Peace Walk in Tundong in Italy. These initiatives reflect his dedication to fostering unity, compassion, and understanding through transformative journeys and engagements with diverse communities. To begin with, we will ask Kamayachana and Panchashilachana to Bhante. Okasa vandami Bhante, dvarata ena maya katam, sabba aparadam, kamatu me Bhante. Dutiyampi okasa vandami Bhante, dvarata ena maya katam, sabba aparadam, kamatu me Bhante. Tatiyampi okasa vandami Bhante, dvarata ena maya katam, sabba aparadam, kamatu me Bhante. Panchashilachana. Okasa aham Bhante, tisaranena sa panchasila dhammam yachami, anukkah katva silam detame Bhante. Dutiyampi okasa aham Bhante, tisaranena sa panchasila dhammam yachami, anukkah katva silam detame Bhante. Tatiyampi okasa aham Bhante, tisaranena sa panchasila dhammam yachami, anukkah katva silam detame Bhante.
Yamaham vadami tham vadetha.
Bhante.
Please say Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa 3 times.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddham saranam gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammam saranam gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Sangham saranam gacchami.
Duteyampe buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddham saranam gacchami.
Duteyampe dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami.
Duteyampe sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchami.
Ateyampe buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddham saranam gacchami.
Ateyampe dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami.
Ateyampe sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchami.
Aranaagamanang sampunnang.
Bhante.
පාණාතිපාතා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
අදින්නාදානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි.
Adinnadana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
කාමේසු මිච්ඡාචාරා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි.
Kame sumichachara veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
මුසාවාදා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි.
Musavada veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
සුරාමේරය මජ්ජපමා දට්ඨානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි.
Sura meraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
තිසරණේන සද්ධින් පංචශීලං ධම්මං සාදුකං සුරක්ෂිතං කତ୍වා අපමාදේන සම්පාදේ තබ්බං.
Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
අමංතා චක්ඛවාලේසු අත්‍රා ගච්ඡන්තු දේවතා සද්ධම්මං මුනි රාජස් සුනන්තු සග්ග මොක්ඛදං. ධම්ම ශ්‍රවණ කාලෝ අයං භදංතා. ධම්ම ශ්‍රවණ කාලෝ අයං භදංතා. ධම්ම ශ්‍රවණ කාලෝ අයං භදංතා. මාතා යථා නියං පුත්තං ආයුසායක පුත්ත මනුරක්ඛේ එවං පි සබ්බ භූතේසු මාන සංභාවයේ අපරිමාණං පි. My utmost respect to the perfectly enlightened Samma Sambuddha, the noble doctrine of the Buddha, and the noble Mahasangha, the disciples of the Buddha. Dear Dhamma friends, today the topic is the power of Mettā, loving kindness. So I would like to start the session with a short guided meditation on loving kindness. Let's get started. Settle on your seats. Sit comfortably. Keep your right palm on the left palm and connect your two thumbs gently. Straighten your back and your head. Relax your shoulders. Gently and compassionately close your eyes. And then take a good long deep breath and hold it for a few seconds. And then slowly release and relax. Focus on your breath. With the incoming breath and the outgoing breath, let us scan our body from top of the head all the way to the tip of the toes. While slowly and gently and compassionately scanning your body. If you have any pain, any discomfort, any tightness or numbness somewhere in your body, pause there for a while and send loving kindness to that area. As we practice loving kindness meditation, we also need to send loving kindness first to ourselves. It is not a part of the attachment, but a part of the compassion and loving kindness. As we say, Sabbe Satta Bhavantu Sukhitatta. May all sentient beings be well and happy. We also need to send loving kindness to ourselves first. So in many traditional Buddhist teachings, Mettā or loving kindness is practiced towards oneself first. When you are full of loving kindness and compassion, it's easier for us to radiate that power towards every other sentient being. So focus on yourself, gently and compassionately scan your body, every single cell of your body, all the external and internal organs of your body, sending loving kindness, well-being, and happiness. We can practice loving kindness towards ourselves, not only to the body, but also to the mind. Not only to ourselves, but also to our near and dear ones, our loved ones, and to the neutral ones, and to the unfriendly ones as well, in all directions. So let us practice using this formula, send loving kindness to ourselves and to others, both physically and mentally. May I be well and happy and healthy. May I be well and happy and healthy. May I be well and happy and healthy. May no harm come to me. May no anger come to me. May no hatred come to me. May no jealousy come to me. May no fear come to me. May I be well and happy and healthy. May all the near and dear ones, all the loved ones, your parents, your spouse, children, siblings, relatives, friends, teachers and elders, and all the benefactors, all the well-wishers. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May no harm come to them. May no anger come to them. May no hatred come to them. May no jealousy come to them. May no fear come to them. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May all the neutral ones in the world be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May no harm come to them. May no anger come to them. May no hatred come to them. May no jealousy come to them. May no fear come to them. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May all the unfriendly ones in the world be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May no harm come to them. May no anger come to them. May no hatred come to them. May no jealousy come to them. May no fear come to them. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May all the sentient beings in the world, all children, all elders, all men and all women, all humans and all non-humans, skybound, earthbound, waterbound, all sentient beings, seen and unseen, near and far, short and long, strong and weak, all sentient beings. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May no harm come to them. May no anger come to them. May no hatred come to them. May no jealousy come to them. May no fear come to them. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. That pure and sublime thought and experience and good heart. Please take a good long deep breath and hold it for a few seconds. And then slowly release and relax. Gently and compassionately keep your palms together close to your heart and say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Now with loving kindness, compassion, and gentleness towards yourself, towards everyone else, please gently open your eyes. Okay. So, the power of loving kindness is a really powerful tool, a topic that we always can cherish in our life, especially as spiritual followers. Love or loving kindness can be practiced by anyone in the world. It could be a man or a woman, a child or an elder, or a human, even an animal, non-human, anyone. They can practice loving kindness, and that can bring a very powerful impact, a positive energy on the other person right in front of you, or even if they are far, far away from you, you can send a wavelength, a very powerful, a mighty, enormously impactful radiation we can send. We can send that wavelength to other people, other sentient beings, in anywhere in the world. So the loving kindness is so important, and how we need to practice loving kindness and what is loving kindness according to Buddhism is what we need to learn today. In Buddhism, we do have Brahma Vihara, what we call Brahma Vihara, 4 sublime states or sublime abodes. In this teaching, the Buddha has explained 4 teachings, all connected to loving kindness: Mettā, Karuna, Mudita, and Upekkha. Mettā is immeasurable, unconditional, loving kindness to all sentient beings, without any discrimination, without any condition, without any boundary. We can send loving kindness to all sentient beings. This is such a powerful practice. The Buddha said in Karaniya Mettā Sutta, Mātā yatha niyam puttang ayusa eka putta manurakhe evangpi sabba bhutesu manasam bhavaye aparimanam. Just as a mother who has only one child, she would protect her child, her only child, even at the cost of her own life. She wouldn't be hesitant to sacrifice even her life in the case of the child protection. So as the power of Mettā, the loving kindness, that is exactly the way we need to practice loving kindness towards every sentient being. Can the same mother radiate the same loving kindness, unconditional, immeasurable loving kindness to all sentient beings? Can she radiate, can she practice that powerful loving kindness to all the other children in the world, all the other elders in the world, all the family members, all the friends, relatives, teachers, and elders? And she also do the same towards all the neutral ones in the world. Out of the 8 billion humans, we only know just a few people, probably less than 100, or maybe several hundreds that you know, depending on how you are connected with the society. And then we also do have some unfriendly beings. Again, just a very few, maybe a handful of them, maybe even less than. And apart from these friendly and unfriendly beings, the vast majority of this world are neutral to us. Can we send the same powerful, intense loving kindness to all of them as well? That is the question. That is the question. And so today I kept this topic, power of Mettā or loving kindness, as a part of our practice, and a message that I want to send to all of you and everyone in the world, that we need it the most today. Especially today, we do need it most. We are, the humans are actually encountering a very serious problem of survival. Our survival is at great risk today. Humans are fighting with each other for power and for territory and for many other things. And when there is one little civil war or an international war happening somewhere in a far remote corner of the world, the entire world today is impacted, affected, gravely affected. So people's survival is at great risk today. We really need to practice loving kindness more than ever today. And especially we need to send loving kindness to all the leaders in the world. Because if the world leaders take any wrong decision, it can be detrimental, it can be so disastrous to the entire world. That is why we need to send loving kindness to all the leaders in the world, whether they are political leaders or religious leaders or community leaders or whatever. All the leaders should be sent loving kindness by all of us. And that way, our survival will be determined. And so, apart from that world picture, the picture at large, we can also start from ourselves. We also can have the bigger picture, but then how do we need to practice? We need to practice, we need to start with the first step by ourselves. And that is important, to practice loving kindness, Mettā, or friendliness, well-being, happiness, and progress of everyone. So it is really something that I want to share with you all today. I really think it is more important to use these things, these techniques, as practical as possible, so that we can actually apply these things, implement these things in our day-to-day life. We do have many teachings. We do have many suttas that discuss about the power of loving kindness in Buddhism. Even in other religions, they talk about loving kindness, metta, compassion, generosity. That's all there. But when it comes to practice, we see there are many loopholes. We see there are many lapses. So we need to apply this loving kindness in our day-to-day life in many different occasions and many different locations. We need to apply, we need to practice, we need to test ourselves whether our metta or loving kindness is in good shape. Every single day we need to practice. For example, I recommend every single day we sit as a major sitting meditation practice. And then in between, whenever we have situations in our life, any different circumstances or challenging situations in our life, we also need to practice. Maybe a couple of minutes, keep your palms, keep your eyes closed, and then taking a good long deep breath. It'll be wonderful. Whenever you feel sad, whenever you feel angry, whenever you feel jealous, or when you are emotionally disturbed or charged due to some reason, you also need to practice loving kindness. I think that will be very helpful. A lot of people today also commit suicide. A lot of people complain they can send loving kindness to other people. They say they can't do it towards themselves. There is a serious problem. We do have a lot of young children today who don't know how to love themselves. And that is not because they have no attachment. They have come to some realization or some aditi, right view or something. It is because of some really terrible, tragic experiences that they have. So a lot of children also even have suicidal tendencies. So I think it is so important to all of us to think of this as practitioners and how we can empower the young generation today, how we can empower the parents today to be more patient, to be more kind-hearted, to be more gentle and compassionate towards others. That's a very interesting and very important practice that we need to apply. We need to learn how the Buddha practiced loving kindness, how the other wonderful disciples, great arahants, how did they practice loving kindness? And when they had situations, we need to read their biographies. We need to read their life stories. And that way it will be very helpful for us as well. For example, the case of Angulimala, you know how the Buddha was so compassionate. He, every single day, used to go to a deep samadhi, what we call Mahakaruna Samapatti Samadhi, and he would practice meditation. And in meditation, in deep jhana, he would scan the world. Whom should I rescue today? Where can I go? How can I help someone rescue from this infinite samsaric misery? And then one single day, he found Angulimala, the innocent young man who used to be a very smart, very intelligent boy in the school, And because of his jealous friends, how he was punished by his teacher to be rewarded with a necklace of fingers. And imagine this young man, the innocent Ahinsaka. His original name was Ahinsaka, innocence. And this man could not sleep, could not eat. He was so stressed up, deeply depressed. And while walking in the forest, he suddenly saw a man walking, and suddenly he was kind of triggered with the mission that he was endowed with. That was to kill someone and take a finger away. And so he killed him and started the journey, and then kept on killing many people and making necklace of fingers. And when it comes to the last day, last accomplishment of his finger necklace, his own mother came to the front. He didn't even bother to kill his own mother. And here comes the Buddha, the timely intervention by the Buddha, that immeasurable loving kindness of the Buddha, that exemplary leadership of a spiritual master. He came in between Angulimala and his mother. He rescued Angulimala and he let him become a monk. Such a ferocious person was allowed to practice as a Buddhist monk. And he continued to support Angulimala. When he was meditating, he could not focus. He panicked. He got depressed. He was anxious. All kinds of negative thoughts kept bombarding him while he was meditating, and the Buddha helped him. Do not worry about the past. Whatever happened in the past, it was past. You have to accept it. You have to stop worrying about your past, and you have to move forward. And you can rectify the mistake when you accept your own mistake. So Angulimala had an opportunity to become an arahant person, an enlightened person, even after killing so many people. So the Buddha's amazing power of loving kindness rescued him from indefinite sansaric misery if he killed his own mother. That is an amazing power of loving kindness by the Buddha. We also have heard about the stories of Sopaka, Sumitta, those little young innocent children, how he rescued them and allowed them to enter the Buddhist order and practice and become arahants. And in the case of Patachara, he also helped her when Patachara lost her own family, her parents and brother. And when she lost her own husband, when she lost her own children, one after another, it became such a traumatic experience for her, and she went insane. She didn't know what to do. She went here and there, running here and there, and then even without clothes, naked, he became just a mock in the eyes of the others. Everyone was laughing at her, everyone was mocking at her. And luckily one kind-hearted person directed her to the Buddha. And she came to the Buddha and someone threw a cloth to her, and Buddha addressed her as compassionate heart as he could, as sister. So she opened up. She opened her eyes. She was able to figure out what was going on due to the power of loving kindness by the Buddha. And he allowed Patachara to become a nun. And she was the foremost among the Vinayadhara bhikkhunis in the Buddhist order. She was a very disciplined lady, such a wonderful, exemplary character again, a great Arahanta bhikkhuni she became. See the power of the Buddha. In the case of Kisa Gotami, when Kisa Gotami lost her child, her only child, she did not want to believe that her son was dead. She thought when everyone else said the baby was dead, she didn't want to accept it. She didn't want to believe it. She reiterated that her son was only sick and could be cured. And she was running here and there, searching for some help. And luckily, a kind-hearted person directed her to the Buddha. And the Buddha didn't say no. He knew, as a wonderful psychologist, as a wonderful psychotherapist, Buddha knew how to deal with this situation. This is a very traumatic situation for Kisa Gotami too. So he asked Kisa Gotami, can you bring a handful of mustard seeds from any house? I could probably cure your son. This was the only positive response from all the other people that she received. And she was so elated, so happy. She said, of course I could. I'm so happy to do that. I am so happy if I can cure my son. The Buddha said then, the second step, he said, okay, go find some mustard seeds, but remember, be noted that the mustard seeds should be from a house where nobody has passed away. So Kisa Gotami ran to a house nearby and knocked at the door. People opened the door. She was asking for mustard seeds in order to cure her son. And the house owners were very happy to offer some mustard seeds to her. And then lastly, she asked if someone has passed away in that house. And people said, yes, our grandfather passed away. Oh, then I can't take this mustard seed. She thanked them and went to another house, knocked at the door, and asked for a handful of mustard seeds. They were also very kind and generous, gave her some mustard seeds, and she asked whether someone has passed away. She came to know that somebody has passed away there as well. She went from house to house, knocking at the doors and asking for mustard seeds. People kept giving mustard seeds, but every house she found somebody or the other passed away. So she learned a lesson. It took time. It was the way, the skill, the technique, the methodology that the Buddha used to cure her. And she started to realize that not only she loses her son, but also there are many other people in the village, in the community. They also have lost someone or the other. All their near and dear ones, they also have lost someone. And then she started to feel, she opened her nose, eyes, she started to even sense the smell of the dead body of the child. Eventually decided to dump the dead body to the jungle and came back to the Buddha. She realized by now that death is common to everyone. And then she went to the Buddha and she was asking her to be allowed to enter the Bodhisattva, Kisagotami, again. Became a bhikkhuni, Arahanti bhikkhuni. She was such a wonderful bhikkhuni as well. So the stories like this are innumerable. And the way the Buddha dealt in different situations were also really, really impressive. And I think most of the modern psychologists can learn so many things from Buddha's powerful loving kindness techniques. And we, you and I, can also learn so many things, so many tips from these things in dealing with situations in our day-to-day life. How to motivate ourselves, how to work towards our spiritual path, progress, and how to practice in our day-to-day life, how to deal with many difficult and different situations. So the power of loving kindness has given many, many opportunities, and even to the animals. In the case of Nalagiri, when he was sent by Devadatta, the Buddha used his amazing power of loving kindness, and Nalagiri became a tamed person. And many other very strong-headed Brahmins also came to the Buddha. Some came to find fault of the Buddha, and some came to argue with him, debate with him, and some came with some other ulterior motives. But Buddha treated them with all compassion, loving kindness, and eventually they were all followers of the Buddha. Many, many suttas are there. One time, and a Brahmin called him an outcast. Buddha compassionately and gently asked him, "Do you know who is an outcast?" And the Brahmin said, "I don't really know. Can you please tell me?" And the Buddha taught him the Vasara Sutta, Vasetta Sutta. Even in the Parabhava Sutta, they talked about those things. Eventually, the Brahmin became a wonderful follower of the Buddha. Many situations, many, many incidents are there in the Buddha's life about the power of loving kindness. So we need to also apply this theory in our day-to-day life. This is what we call Mettā, immeasurable, unconditional loving kindness. Start with ourselves again. Now, there's a lot of people have some complications regarding this issue. Some say, oh, we should not love ourselves because then it will build up our own ego, or also some kind of attachment, so we should not love ourselves. And then there is a problem, because if we say like Sabbe Satta Bhavantu Sukhitatta, may all beings be well, happy, healthy, how can we not love ourselves? And how can we not love others if we don't have love towards ourselves? There is a problem. So the Buddhist traditional teachers, lots and lots of teachers, they have started. Ahang avero homi, may I be, may no hatred come to me. May I be free from hatred. abhyapajyo homi, anigho homi, sukheya tanam pariharami. So they send loving kindness to themselves. They practice loving kindness to themselves. And then slowly radiating that territory of loving kindness to the easy ones first, near and dear ones, loved ones, children, or the spouse, or the parents, or siblings, or uh, relatives, or friends, teachers, elders. It's much easier to send loving kindness to them. Sometimes people say like even that is difficult for them. They can do it to others, but they can do it towards their own people. Whenever they think of their own people, they get like upset. They get emotionally charged. That also happens. I noticed that. There are some people who are very kind, very nice, very gentle to other people, like maybe neighbors or friends. But when it comes to their own husband, wife, children, their tone changes, completely change. The way they talk is different. The way they address them is different. How does it happen? How come you um, are so gentle and kind to other people, and those people who are so close to your life, you are not doing it. You are not practicing loving kindness to them. How can? You can't do it. You have to be more kind and compassionate towards your own people too. Start with yourself and your loved ones. You have to be kind, gentle, and compassionate, and that way your family can be stronger. Your siblings, your parents, your in-laws, you have to be kind to them. You have to be gentle to them. That way your communication, your relationships can also improve. Husband, wives, many occasions we notice husband, wives are not compassionate to each other. Only at the beginning, maybe just a few months or few years, and afterwards they become so neutral, and some even become so hostile towards each other. And yet they are so kind to other people. They are also very good practitioners, but they are not compassionate to their own loved ones. So we need to think of it seriously. We need to look into ourselves seriously. Just like we look at the outside world with our eyes open, we don't look inside with our eyes closed. When we close our eyes, we can see ourselves. When we open our eyes, we see everything around. Same thing. You need to think of your family first. Yourself first, and then your family, your near and dear ones. Be kind and gentle and generous to them all the time. That way you can actually build a very powerful, positive relationship with each other. So the power of love can be applied in many different ways. I would say when you practice loving kindness, you can think all the time how you can practice this while working, while walking, while talking, while thinking, while even taking shower, while driving, while cooking. You can practice loving kindness. You need to send loving kindness to all sentient beings. Maybe using just a few sentences, maybe even one sentence. May he be well, happy, and healthy. May she be well, happy, and healthy. May they be well, happy, and healthy. If you can just use that sentence towards the other person who is right in front of you, you will feel much relaxed yourself. Remember, the first person to be benefited when you practice loving kindness is none but you. You will be benefited first and foremost. You feel that relief when you send loving kindness to other person, to a homeless person, or to even an enemy, unfriendly person, or neutral person, and then also to loved ones. If you send loving kindness, you can feel the good energy. Remember, there is a difference between attachment and loving kindness. Attachment is different. Loving kindness is something very wholesome, very, very pure thing. So we need to know the difference and keep practicing. That way we can be much more benefited. And so in the case of loving kindness, practicing loving kindness, we can use it while driving, for example. May all the drivers be able to reach their destination without any problem. May when you go to the office, before entering the office, you can also think of all the people in the office. May they all be well, happy, healthy, so you can enter after them. And when you go to the office, when you meet someone, first and foremost, when you meet someone, just kind of send loving kindness to that person in your heart. If you don't know that person, if you know, of course, you can say something nicely. If you don't know that person, you can still, in your heart, you can say, may you be well, happy, healthy. You will see, you will keep doing it, and that person feel the difference. That person will feel the energy one day or the other. That's a really, really important practice. And when you go to the office, also sit 5 minutes. You need to practice loving kindness to yourself and to others. When you come back home, before entering the home, maybe in the car itself, you can send loving kindness to everyone in your family, because you don't really know what has happened when you were away. So sending loving kindness can be really powerful. And then when you receive a phone call, don't be harsh to people, especially to your loved ones. When you hear them, like maybe husband, wife, children, oh, I know them. There should be something not important. Don't say so. Don't think so. Even before answering the phone call, may he be well, happy, healthy. May she be well, happy, healthy. Thinking thus, answer the phone call. You never know what has happened the other end of the phone. So it's really, really helpful if you start yourself with the power of loving kindness. You can change the world. You can change yourself, and you can change the world. In Mettā Sutta, there are 11 benefits. You can sleep comfortably, you can wake up comfortably, and you don't see nightmares, and you will be protected by everyone, all devas and other sentient beings. They will also protect you. Everyone, you will be a pleasant person to everyone, not only to humans, but also to non-humans. Sometimes animals will also like you. They will love you. They will not harm you when you are a compassionate person. If you continue to practice loving kindness, they feel the energy. They feel that wavelength, that positive energy in you. They feel that friendliness in you. So they become, you will feel, you will see for yourself. Sometimes even elephants can be friendly with you. Sometimes even snakes will not bite you, because they feel the wavelength of you. And the other wild animals also feel because they are much more hypersensitive than all of us. So they know when someone has good intention, then they will most probably not harm you. That is the truth. So practicing loving kindness to all sentient beings is a really, really good thing. And when it comes to practice loving kindness, also we need to think not only your family, not only your community, not only people who speak your language, not only people who follow your culture, not only people who follow your own religion, but also to all the children from different countries, different communities, different cultures, different languages, different religions. We need to feel that loving kindness to all of them equally. And to all the other people who are elderly people, when you see them, like you, when you see those elderly people, you need to think of your own parents. When you see the young people, you need to see your own family members in them. That's how we need to practice loving kindness. So that way we can see, we can really make this um, unconditional, boundless love towards every sentient being. It's a practice. It doesn't happen right away, but if you keep doing it, you can really make it happen. And there are so many ways to practice loving kindness. As I said, like the way you can practice. Loving kindness is something that you can practice while it's a practice that you can practice while sitting or standing or walking or even laying down. You can do it. And in all four postures, you can practice loving kindness. Not only, unlike the other, like Anapanasati, for example, the mindfulness of breath, you have to practice while sitting with straightened body. It's important. But loving kindness can be practiced everywhere, and it is much easier too. Compared to many practices, loving kindness is something that can make you so close to the Nibbana. The Buddha said in Karaniya Mettā Sutta, if you keep practicing loving kindness, you can also attain Nibbana with just a few more requirements. Remember, the Buddha said in Karaniya Mettā Sutta, like so you need to get rid of the ditti, and then you have to have the dasanena sampanna. Okay, and then ditti means we have to get rid of all kinds of views, wrong views. And then we also need to have the clear comprehension, the sammaditthi, right view. And then we need to also get rid of the sensual pleasures. And if you do it, you can, while with the compassionate, loving kindness practice all throughout, you continue to practice loving kindness and have these things ready. And it is said, Nahi jatu gabbha seyam punaketiti, then you will not come to another womb of a mother. That means your rebirth will be done. Your sansaric existence will be gone. If you continue to practice loving kindness, you see like most of your defilements, anger, even greed, and many other defilements will be subsided very, very strongly. And you feel like you almost like an arahant. Your mind becomes so pure and you become so happy, and you also become physically very healthy person. Not only mentally stronger person, but also physically a very healthy person, because your blood is also becomes much more purer. Your brain waves function smoothly, your heartbeat function smoothly, your nervous system, your muscles, your entire body becomes much more relaxed. And you don't have stress when you practice loving kindness. So these are the benefits of practicing loving kindness. And you need to continue to um, feel the energy and be benefited by practicing this wonderful, wonderful loving kindness meditation. I think um, also, I think maybe I have talked a lot, maybe. Okay, so with these things, I would like to conclude. Thank you so much for inviting me to talk about this power of loving kindness. I really wanted to make it very simple and more applicable in our day-to-day life. So I hope it was helpful. And with the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem, may you all be well, happy, healthy. Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, 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 Bhante. Thank you, Bhante, for sharing such valuable insights on the topic power of Mettā, or loving kindness. So to summarize in this Dhamma session, power of Mettā, loving kindness. So Bhante explained how showing love and kindness can seriously make a difference. Bhante talked about how when we genuinely care for ourselves and others, it's like turning point for finding inner calm, improving our connections, and putting out positive energy in the world. Bhante wasn't just talking about a personal feel-good thing, but he was saying this love and compassion have the potential to spread out and make the whole world a better place. Bhante also gave us the references to loving kindness, Metta Sutta, Angulimala Suttas. So these suttas highlights the practice of Metta meditation and the development of a compassionate and loving attitude toward oneself and all other living beings. As Bhante explained, the Metta Sutta guides us to spread kindness to everyone without any exceptions. It encourages us to have a caring and steady mindset, being mindful of our actions. The practice isn't just about feeling goodwill, but actively being compassionate in how we treat others, freeing ourselves from negativity. Bhante also explained us how to practice loving kindness. So the first one is to start by being kind to ourselves, recognizing our own value, and to make moments to think about this kindness inside us and creating a real sense of caring, and also to bring this kindness into our everyday life by treating others with affection and goodwill. It's very easy to practice loving kindness, as Bhante mentioned, and it can take us very close to Nibbana. And thank you very much, Bhante. I believe our participants for today's Dhamma session probably learned a lot from today's session, and it was very insightful. Thank you, Bhante. Now we will open the forum for question and answers. If you have any questions, please raise your hand, or you can also post your question in the chat window.
Maybe until you get some questions, I would say like there is a book called this book is Path of Purification, Visuddhimagga by Bhadantacharya Buddha Gosa. The translation is available in English by Bhikkhu Ñāṇamāli. I'm sure it is also available in Hindi and many others. And there is another wonderful book called 8 Mindful Steps to Happiness, Walking the Buddha's Path by Bhante Gunaratana. Bhante Ji also just turned 96, and he's a very wonderful monk in Sri Lankan monk in USA. There are many other suttas like Mettā Sutta, Karaniya Mettā Sutta, Mettānisansa Sutta, and Khanda Paritta, and a number of suttas are there that talk about the Brahma Viharas and the power of Mettā.
Yeah, thank you, Bhante, for sharing the details. We will definitely look into that book. I see a hand raised by Dr. Sheetal Tai. So please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Vandami Bhante, thank you so much for taking this wonderful topic. I just have a question about the differentiation about in the Mettā Sutta when we say Sabbe Satta, Sabbe Bhuta, Sabbe Pukkala, Sabbe Atta Bhava Pariyapanna. So what is the difference between those terminologies, Bhante?
They are all different kinds of sentient beings, like trying to reiterate that every sentient being is included. So even like Sabbe Prana means all breathing beings. Sabbe Bhuta is all those who have already born. Even Sambhavesi is the one who is searching for a birth, maybe like the baby in the mother's womb. So Sabbe Puggala, all persons. So the try to include all inclusive sentient beings. That is the idea.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Is that clear to you?
Yes, Bhante. Yes.
Yeah, sadhu, 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 Bhante. Participants, if you have any questions, please raise your hand, or you can also post your question in the chat box. I see a question in the chat box, Bhante. So Ramita, they say, Bhante, sometimes we give Mettā, but it seems that it is not working. So could you please explain that?
Okay, so we give Mettā, but it seems that it's not working.
Yeah.
It depends on the intensity of your Mettā, also the intensity of the type of problem or connection that you have with each other. So I would say continue to do that and don't be discouraged. It won't be an overnight matter, especially when it comes to unfriendly one. You continue to send loving kindness to that person. Even if you don't have that person right in front of you, you just think of that person, and every time you think of that person, do not have any negative energy within you. And you need to have some light heart. When you think of some unfriendly ones in particular, you get very negative, aggressive thoughts, and then you need to check yourself. Do I get that? Am I angry? Am I jealous of some people? For example, when the unfriendly one is a prosperous one or doing better in their life, and then you get jealousy? You need to think. You can't be that. You have to be mudita, sympathetic joy. You need to have that. And let's say you have someone who is angry with you, and then you continue to practice loving kindness towards that person, even if that person maybe that person is at your office. So you see that every single day, and try to see if something negative is happening within you when you see that person or when you think of that person. If then you need to slowly and gradually remove that feeling and try to see you are improving, sending loving kindness. Sincerely and honestly, you need to send loving kindness to that person. May he be well, happy, healthy. May he always be well, happy, healthy. May he be prosperous. May he be healthy. Just sending those beautiful, powerful loving kindness to that person. And when you do that, do you still feel good? Like, see the benefit first. Do you feel benefited? I feel much better now, at least. Because even that person is not turning good, I feel much better. Because you are the one who fabricated this actually in the first hand. So you need to fix it first within yourself. You don't even know sometimes that person maybe even have forgotten that grudge long time ago. You are the one carrying that heavy weight with you for a long time. You have been burning within and suffering alone. Now, when you start to loosen up, when you start to let it go, when you start to practice send loving kindness to that person, you will start to learn that you are improving much better. You are feeling much better. So continue to do that. And maybe first, you don't even want to talk, but you can send loving kindness through your heart. And then one day, you can say somehow, be courageous and say good morning. And then maybe at the beginning, that person won't even respond. It's okay. You feel better at least. You said that. And then second day, third day, when you keep doing it, maybe the other person might say, good morning, maybe with very strong hand or something. And continue to do that. You will feel that person is loosening up, melting. And you need to do it sincerely. And then eventually you can be benefited. That person can also be benefited. You both can talk together more easier, comfortably, peacefully than ever. We need to think that we don't live forever. We all die, and why do we need to have that grudge, that revenge, the anger, that dislike within us forever? Nothing. We don't need it. So continue to practice loving kindness. Wonders happen, magic happens when you keep doing it.
Sadhu, 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 Bhante. And thank you for the question. Also, I think it's the usual for most of the people that they practice loving kindness, but they don't feel that it's not working. And thank you, Bhante, for the practical answer. And I believe it's by continuously practicing loving kindness is the only way. And thank you, Bhante. I see another question in the chat box. I heard that there are the types of teaching like Hinayana, Mahayana, etc. in our religion. So what are these teachings briefly based on?
Hinayana or lesser vehicle, or Mahayana is the greater vehicle. So some may even say like Theravada Mahayana. Some even say like Northern School and Southern School. So due to many reasons, I think in the past what happened, like many situations happen within the Buddha Sasana after the passing away of the Buddha. Some monks started to change. It could happen because of mostly because of the Vinaya rules that the Buddha was very strict about. Certain Vinaya rules, some monks wanted to change. In fact, the Buddha himself has said like some of those minor precepts, minor Vinaya rules can be changed. But then in the first Buddhist council, Venerable Mahakassapa said we should not change, because if we change, we don't know where to end. We don't know where to draw the line. So they did not want to change anything. And somehow there were many other monks who had other points of view, and then they started changing. And then due to weather, due to logistical changes, and due to many other cultural issues and many other things, the monks changed. And even interpretations started to change. Because like The same thing I talk to like here, some people, a group of people right here, and all those people would grasp it in different levels, different dimensions. Same thing happened to those monks when they were like not like today, we have technology, we can print, we can save many things, but those days everything was oral tradition, oral transmission, and there were no books. So hearsays, they started to interpret, reinterpret, and change many things too. So over time, just like everything else, the impermanence came into fore, and so they started changing their perspectives and interpretations. But having said that, all the Hinayana, Theravada, Mahayana schools, they also commonly agree with certain teachings like Noble Eightfold Path, Four Noble Truths, three conditions like Anicca Dukkha Anatta and Paticca Samuppada, dependent origination, the theory of karma, rebirth. So some of those theories, they basically commonly agreed. So basically, Mahayana and Theravada happen in such a way, like in Theravada, they say one can attain enlightenment in three ways. By being an Arahanta, or a Pacceka Buddha, or Samma Sambuddha. The perfectly enlightened Buddha can become enlightened, and also when there are no perfectly enlightened Buddhas, there can be individual Buddhas, Pacceka Buddha, they also self-enlightened, but they don't have the power to teach others. And that leadership is not there with them. So they live mostly in seclusion, isolation. And the Arahant, the other many hundreds and thousands of disciples, they can also become Arahant. Even today, you and I, when we keep practicing the Dhamma, when the Dhamma is there, when we are committed to practice, the world will not be empty of Arahants, the Buddha said. And so even today we can do it. The Arahantas people, those disciples, the problem is they need the help of a Samma Sambuddha. And then they can attain Arahantahood. This is the Theravada perspective. And then in the Mahayana perspective, they say only by Samma Sambuddha one can become an Arahanta. So they give more priority to Bodhisattva concept. Like we need to be compassionate, we need to practice loving kindness. Again, this started with a really an interesting intention. And there are some bodhisattvas like Kshitigarbha Bodhisattva. He would they have bodhisattva vows. He would say, I would not want to become enlightened until the last sentient being in the hell realm is released. Such an enormously powerful, wholesome thought. You see, also part of the loving kindness. So somehow, mostly in the Mahayana tradition, they are slightly changed, slightly different. Also, like in Mahayana, there are many other schools, traditions, so many differences are also there. Vajrayana tradition is mostly in the Tibetan, among Tibetan monks, and Zen Buddhism and many other schools are also there in the Mahayana tradition. So these are the basic differences, I would say.
Sadhu, 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 Bhante. Thank you for the detailed details. If you have any questions, please raise your hand, or you can also post in the chat box. Yeah, Bhante, I don't see any questions in the chat box or in no raised hands also. So Bhante, now I request you to do Anumodana for today's Dhamma session.
Okay. First of all, I would really appreciate all of you. I think Living Dhamma USA, right? I was a little confused at the beginning because we also have Dhamma USA organization. So I really appreciate you inviting me to this wonderful event. And by the power of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, I would like to invoke blessings upon all of you. May all of you and all your near and dear ones, loved ones, everyone in your community, everyone in your family, everyone in your country, and everyone in the world be blessed by the Noble Triple Chain. May no harm come to you from water, fire, air. May you always be safe and protected wherever you are. May you and your loved ones also be able to live your life peacefully, comfortably with good health. May you be also your departed ones. May all your departed ones receive this merit, share this merit, be well, happy, healthy, safe, wherever they are. May all Devas, Brahmas, all sentient beings also share this merit, receive this merit, be well, happy, healthy, safe. May all of us and all of them be able to attain the final liberation, the supreme bliss of Nibbana, the absolute peace and happiness at the end of our samsara. Thinking thus, please keep your palms together, close to your heart, and say Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Let us transfer merit to all devas and other sentient beings. Ettavata hehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata hehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata hehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. May all the departed ones receive this merit, share this merit, be well, happy, healthy, safe wherever they are. Idang me ñātinang hotu suketā hontu ñātayo. Idang me ñātinang hotu suketā hontu ñātayo. Idang me ñātinang hotu suketā hontu ñātayo. By the power of this merit, may we all be associated with wonderful Kalyana Mitta friends, all throughout our life, all throughout our samsara. May all of us be able to attain the final liberation, the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you.
Sadhu, 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 Bhante. For next week's Dhamma session, please stay tuned to our Living Dhamma WhatsApp group channel for details. And that's all for today. And I thank you all for joining today's Dhamma session. And much gratitude to you, Bhante, for your Dhammadana. So Bhante, do we have your permission to close today's session?
Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you, Bhante. We will meet again next week. Thank you all. Namo Buddhaya.